here we are.
Wah, 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 wah. Just waiting for Mike.
Oh, I bought a room divider, so comes in tomorrow. So we'll be blocked off this section.
Ah.
It's like one of those, the wall dividers things.
No.
You never? Not familiar?
No.
It's like 5-6 feet tall. It like expands. It's like a stand-up wall.
Okay.
And you put it to divide. It's a room divider.
Oh, so you can have 2 rooms for one? Hey, Mike, don't get naked. We're live right now.
Yeah.
Shit.
Mike, are you familiar with room dividers?
I feel like that's not what it's called or something.
Like when you have one room and you're trying to get 2 people to stay in there?
No, like the walls that you can you unfold them and then stand them up. They're like 5 feet tall and they like split up a room.
Sure. That's that's basically what I said. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would that be for?
When you're trying to fit more than the normal amount of people in a room.
So you're gonna change on one side,
like a sleeping environment. Like you're talking about like a sleeping, like first to split a room into so 2 people can have beds in there and have their own room, kind of deal.
Theoretically, I guess you could use it for that purpose, but in my case, I'm using it I got a room divider. It's coming in tomorrow, and I'm using it to hide my floors. So.
Oh, I don't even think I can see your floor.
I zoomed in the lens a little bit, so it's less.
Okay.
Wow,
less,
the lens.
Yeah.
Lens boy.
Oh, right.
That's what they called me in high school.
Lens boy.
So I'll have a cool room divider tomorrow. Excited for that.
Well, we do have, when we get to the YouTube comment, it is CJ related. It has nothing to do with your room.
Yeah.
Hate when people now send in emails, Spike, Mike, and CJ. It's like, well, let's, come on.
Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, come on. All right, let's do it. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS. And brought to you by Body Bio, better health through supplements. Get 20% off any Body Bio order with code RTRS20. Kornblau and Kornblau, the official law firm of the process. And Stateside Urban Craft Vodka. There we go. There's an app you can order alcohol with here in New Jersey. I got a bottle of Stateside tonight. The official sponsor of the Corner 3 newsletter with Zoe, statesidevodka.com. On the show today, the Sixers win again with James Harden in his home debut against the Knicks after a lackluster first half. We find out the backup center that Daryl Morey was warning us about on the Ricky, potentially. Ben Simmons has a back injury, and someone has a question about CJ's hair in the YouTube comment of the week. Stateside, should I mention Stateside here? Yeah, Stateside Vodka, Stateside Urban Craft Vodka. By the way, they got 352 Ben Simmons jerseys traded in.
That's awesome.
It's wild. And they donated them to, I think, shelters in Philly and Brooklyn, because Eddie from Stateside reached out to my wife about finding a shelter to give away in Brooklyn. So, and then they gave everybody a $25 Stateside gift card. So that's awesome. We love Stateside. They sponsor a Corner 3 newsletter. They have this fantastic vodka. They're from Philly. Look at that, the glass. The glass is awesome. Also, their iced tea vodka is an awesome treat with only 100 calories and tastes awesome. We love Stateside Vodka. You got to be 21 or older to drink it. Statesidevodka.com. Without any further ado, Amos and the Chef.
Larry, sweetie, the man is here. Say the name. I say the name. I say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We was right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We were right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. Say the name.
Forever.
Welcome to the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. I'm Spike Eskin, along with a guy whose efficiency was good even before Harden got here. One, fully clothed, Michael Levin.
It's just really nice that he's still on our team.
Still here. Were you expecting things might change before the first
You
home
just
game?
never know.
Right. Stranger things have happened.
You feel good about this team for a while, and something bad seems like it's on the horizon, but so far not. Man, he's really good. He's really good, and they're really good with him. And they are, they played the Knicks twice, who were bad, who are predictably like burnt out from Tibbs, like classic Doug Collins situation, and are overperformed last year. And now the East is like really good, and the Knicks aren't the same team they were last year, just worse. And the Wolves, who are fine, but like they look good, man. And the three
coffee breath, sweaty pits, Tibbs.
all of it. But it's I'm excited. They have a tough stretch coming up, so I'm excited to see what it was. At no point during this game did I think they were going to lose this game.
Ooh, really? I did.
Never. And even if they did, I wouldn't have cared. So maybe that was part of it. Like, it was just like nothing matters. It's just like stay healthy, keep dominating, try some shit out, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I mean, the Sixers look like, I don't want to put a number on it yet, but but Embiid and Harden are obviously the top 10 players in the league, obviously. And Maxey looks like a top whatever, like 50, whatever, something like that.
Yep.
With how well he's playing now. And it's just like, when you have those kinds of guys that command defensive attention, there's only so many of them you can stop at once. And the Sixers in the first half weren't really good at finding the open one, finding the guy that they should be kicking it to, or the guy that should attack, or whatever it was. It looked pretty slow. And in the second half, it was just like, oh, right, we're too good for them. And they just, I feel like, have they all scored over 25 points in every game, or about that in every game since Harden started? It's just like efficient scoring. It's insane. So
yeah, what did Maxey have? 10 shots tonight or something?
12.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, they all scored over 25 on 15 shots or under, and they're getting the line. They're hitting threes. They're finding each other.
It's
really
fair
good.
to say.
It's very nice.
It's fair to say that for many people, and this isn't a you don't watch ball comment. That's not what it is. But it's fair to say for many people, and even like watching it on our own team, that Harden is like better than people gave him credit for. Like he all the stats are there, but I think the calm and like, I always compare him to Peyton Manning, but like the way he sees the floor and the way that he is sort of like an architect with the ball is so good. It is really unmatched in NBA history. Not that, but that compared with the scoring is really incredible. And like the combination of him and Embiid is pretty unprecedented. Like there was, Kobe Shaq, but Kobe isn't wasn't a point guard or anything, and Shaq couldn't shoot. I don't know that there is a historical comp for the skill sets that those two have at the same time at those two positions.
Yeah, he's not only is he really good and looks obviously, he's playing pretty good ball in Brooklyn, but it seems like he was not playing at the height of his abilities
this year.
Yeah, and he's looked better than that. And I think especially because just like he just filled such a void for this team in so many areas, both in the like scoring on ball, in the like be composed with the ball in their hands, in the obviously passing. I've talked about it 1,000 times. I'm never going to stop talking about it. Like him as a passer has opened up so many things about this team. And I would add rebounding. Like I think a lot of times when you see like a point guard or a guard rebounding, sometimes it's like a little bit fake rebounds, not like contested ones, not end possession ones, but just like it's a long rebounder. It's everybody else had already ran down the court and they just got it, and the big like lets them get it. But Harden's come up with a couple legitimate like contested rebounds, and to end possessions, and that's been a weakness of this team, and he has at least stemmed the tide a little bit so far. about how that is no longer as much of a weakness. And his defense has been better. His
How
defense
about
is
taking the
absolutely
charge?
took a
And
charge, had a bunch of steals in the previous Knicks game.
Get
He's
that.
I mean, the crowd was awesome tonight. Everybody was pumped. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I just want you to know I willingly stopped myself from talking immediately about the backup center situation right now, and so we can talk about it later. But
We'll get to it.
This is me. This is me exercising a level of restraint.
Good. Yeah, we have plenty of time. We'll get to it. I promise you. And yeah, so the other thing that I thought of in the first half of this game, because it was not a good first half for Embiid at all. You know, he was getting, you know, that lets the game get away from him type thing, where he gets frustrated and things aren't going his way. He starts fighting with the refs and yada, yada, yada. And I just thought to myself, it's like, oh, the reason we're still in it is because we have one of the best guards of all time also on the team. Yeah. So there's somebody else to pick up the slack. And it's been rare in Embiid's career that we've had a player that could do that on offense.
Yeah,
so,
another run stopper when the other team gets going, just like to manufacture some points, get to the line, whatever. God, he's really good. The intros were cool. The cheering when he touched the ball. Just like...
I didn't see the intros because I was watching ESPN. They didn't show them. I was just like fucking hate watching JJ Redick.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I thought JJ was pretty good.
Oh, he wasn't. He was decidedly not good.
I thought he was pretty good. I thought he actually had interesting things to say about the game in a way that most Hubie Brown or whatever just repeats the same 8 things he's been saying for 100 years.
You're just saying that to make me mad.
I swear to God, I'm not. I didn't want to like JJ. I didn't want to. I really didn't. I swear to God, I thought he was pretty good. I thought he had interesting things to say.
Bad timing.
He added stuff to the game.
Bad timing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were some timing issues, but just as far as analyzing the game in on TV, many people are worse. And for his first time, I was unfortunately impressed by how well he did.
Just shameful St. Louis Oklahoma City fucking standing ovation that they gave him when he got announced for the crowd is just disgusting for a 2-year player that never won anything, never dove for a loose ball, never hit a big shot, left a person in a cage, never did anything for the community, had a abortion contract in college, long list, potentially racist thing, Chinese video.
The China thing?
Yeah.
It was a quick summary. For people that are new here, you're not going to get all of those. But yeah, I mean, just the vibes are so good. I think honestly, if friggin' Jonah Bolden was calling the game tonight, they would have been pumped to see him.
Yep. So all right, so I don't know what there else to say about Harden is right now. I do think AU wrote a really good piece on the website today about the honeymoon period, about that this part was always going to be awesome, and when the ghosts for both of those players, for Embiid and Harden, come in the playoffs, it will be, I think the interest level and the drama level will be super high, and it will be interesting to see both of them in that situation. But for now, it is absolutely positively awesome to watch. I think the thing, Maxey's just fucking wild right now. And he, when you think about it, has also, much like Harden has never played with an Embiid. Embiid has never played with a Harden. Maxey has never played with a truly effective perimeter player in the NBA. And he must be I feel like when he's on the court with Harden, the court looks enormous and there's only 3 people on it. And he just sees this giant hole all the time. And he's so fast that there's just nothing anyone can do about it. And there was that one today where he did that sort of that Kobe spin off the perimeter, or Melo spin off the perimeter, and just went so hard to the basket and got fouled, and got the call too. It was that, I thought that was a great moment. But he just looks like a fucking, as well as he's played this year, he looks like a guy set free right now, honestly.
Yeah, he's so good. And he fell to 21. Thank you, Mike Muscala. We love him. We love that big weirdo. He'd be back. Actually, Mike Muscala would be great on this team. I would love to have him back. Buy out, please. He just pops, man. The shot is excellent right now. Is he going to shoot 70% for the rest of the season? Probably not. But I think you look at him improving his free throw numbers. Like, he's a high 80% free throw shooter. Like, he's a legitimately good shooter. He's legitimately good. The only thing that holds him back is his like slightly hesitant, gun shy nature when it's off the catch. But he's hitting step backs like crazy. He is like, you can tell he's making it a focal point to try to get off the catch. The difference between him and Tobias were a similar issue, but Maxey then bursts into the lane, whereas Tobias takes like 4 dribbles into nowhere. So even when he does like attack a closeout, it's still like not like a momentum crushing decision to make. He's fearless going to the rim right now. He's going hard. He's getting those calls. It's awesome. I've loved the, I mean, it's sort of like there's always one kind of play. Usually it's like a real weird bank shot where you're just like, oh, they have it going on. But the to beat the shot clock, kind of like pivoting 3 with RJ Barrett, like playing some good defense, containing the drive, and then just he like pivots and just takes a shot and it goes right in. And it's just like, well, he's got it right now, and he's just the man. He played some I thought his defense was really nice. Sometimes he falls asleep. He's still young. He's going to make mistakes like that. But I think when like he is engaged defensively and like has quick hands and like makes some stuff happen, he's just awesome. He's awesome, and I genuinely think like obviously Embiid has been excellent this year. Harden coming has made a huge difference. But like as far as one of the biggest factors of why this team is good, why their vibes are good, why they like playing with each other, it's just like how special of a player Tyrese Maxey is, how special of a person he is. He's just like him, like slapping the ground on the ground in the Sunday Knicks game. He's just awesome, man. I can't imagine playing with this guy and like having a bad time. He's a singularly unique player, and I hope he plays this way for the rest of his career. He's and here lifetime contract. Several
have asked if that counts as a hardwood slap. I would say it was the closest we've gotten, but I don't think it counts as a hardwood slap. That's not. No. He did slap the hardwood, but it's not slapping the hardwood, right?
Yeah. I mean, okay. I think we might even have graduated past that at this point.
No.
Like, I think that might have been it would have been a dorky move at that point. And like Tyrese could do it in a way that would look cool. That's definitely not the thing we were talking about. That's right. Definitely like a meet a guy. It has to be like met at half court.
Yep.
Has to be on ball.
Yep.
Has to be like there's a lot of situations that have to be like met, a lot of like qualifiers that have to be met for that to be like the description of the thing I was talking about with Tony Roten friggin' 8 years ago or whatever.
Well, it's part of the lore. It's part of the lore, buddy.
Yeah. But I love Tyrese Maxey, and I said it 1,000 times before the Harden trade while it was looking like possible then inevitable. Like there was no scenario where they should have traded Tyrese Maxey. None. Zero. Absolutely none. And Darryl didn't do it, and I love him for it. And like he should just be on the team for the rest of time.
Even if they wouldn't have gotten Harden.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think like who knows how long Harden's got. I think he's got a lot. I think he's got a lot left. I think the way he plays, his brain, I think, is the best part of his game at this point. And the jumper will stay at least a weapon for a long time. But like playing with Joel and with Maxey, he's going to be able to like save himself for a lot of time. He's not going to be as much like wear and tear on his legs as he had, for when he was basically the only thing going in Houston. But like if he slows down, if he gets another hamstring injury, he's not the same guy. Like and they give him this max contract, which they should. Like it could look bad. Like it could look bad quick, and you need to have like a guy that has popped as quickly as Maxey has on a rookie contract that is just like everything you want in a young player and has improved and keeps getting better and has worked on his game and like just is beloved. Like you can't. I would have much rather if the option was Harden trade where Maxey's in it or Halliburton trade where he's not. I would have done a Halliburton trade 100%.
Hi, Spike and Mike. I wanted to give a quick shout out to Adam Kornblau. I was having issues with annoying neighbors in which the property management company ended up using their attorney for our eviction. Fuck. I reached out to Adam for some advice. He quickly got back to me. Since I was planning on moving at the end of my lease in July anyway, Adam was able to make a deal with a law firm that was filing for our eviction in which I would vacate the building March 31st while not having to pay the rest of the lease. Saving time and money to avoid court was the best possible outcome. I cannot thank him enough for taking time out of his busy schedule to help a fellow process truster. That is Kornblau and Kornblau, the official law firm of the process. They may advertise themselves as the premier boutique personal injury law firm in the Delaware Valley, but it sure seems like most of our listeners reach out for landlord issues. Sorry, Adam.
Good. Fuck him up, Kornblau. Fuck up those landlords.
He does. That guy, the thing that I noticed when I first met Adam is how much he had a passion for this stuff, and he wants to do right by our people. Kornblau and Kornblau has been there for over 40 years. That's right, or 40-ish years, getting just excellent results for people in the personal injury world, whether it's medical malpractice, injured at work, or slip and fall, or car accident, or any of those things. They take care of it. And it is long. A personal injury lawsuit can be a really long time. I was involved in one once, years, and it can be frustrating and lots of twists and turns, and you need somebody to really settle you down and tell you what's what. Kornblau is going to do that. And if you have a bad landlord or something, or somebody screws you out of like the right change when you bought something at a store, call
Kornblau
Kornblau.
will body that landlord in the post.
Yeah. If you think you have a case, give him a call or shoot him an email. He truly helps all of our people with anything. You have your lawyer contact. 215-576-7200. Ask for Adam. Doesn't cost you anything to send that email, that phone call. No. Not till he gets results for you. Or email Kornblau at kornblauandkornblau.com. Kornblau, Kornblau. I spelled it for you. Kornblau and Kornblau, the official law firm of the process. I'm starting to get to the point, and as a believer, it hurts to get to this point. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm just thinking, like, this might not be Cork's year. You know, like, he had a dreadful run in there, and, Shake wasn't awesome, but he did, have a couple of nice drives to the basket, showed a little pop, showed a quick first step, and that spot is Shake's for the taking. I don't know what happened to Korkmaz this year. I feel like his shot left him, and it just fucked everything else up.
Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty horrendous all season long, and they put him in a spot where they asked him to be backup point guard a lot, which I think is a lot of that is on Darryl for not, part of that is Grant Riller was never healthy, and then Miles Powell wasn't really good enough, and so it's like you got to just get a backup point guard so that Korkmaz doesn't have to keep doing this. Shake was hurt also, but yeah, he's been bad. He's been bad for a while. He had some weird passes tonight, he certainly hasn't earned the spot, and I wouldn't. Shake has a slow release, and that's not exactly what you want against. Think about if you play Toronto in a series, you're not going to want to, a whip to Shake. Niang has such a quick release, and he shoots it so high, and Danny shoots it when guys are right in his face, so that's fine.
Slow release, and he hasn't shot it particularly well in a couple
he hasn't
of
either,
years,
too,
honestly.
for sure.
Yeah.
But at least the thing with Shake is he can at least be a shooting and driving threat. Aside from, obviously Maxey, Tobias a little bit, Niang a little bit, but Shake is one of the guys that if he pumps and goes, if a guy closes out too quick, then you're kind of comfortable with him having the ball in his hands to either hit a little mid range or get all the way to the rim or drive and kick to somebody else who's open. I really would genuinely commit to giving Isaiah Joe 15 minutes a night for the rest of the season, because he could be very good. It's not that he's just a quick shooter. He's a quick shooter from distance, long distance beyond the 3-point line, which gives them even more spacing that they have to consider. And he's pretty fast. Not necessarily with the ball in his hands, but he is just fast to the ball. And with guys like Danny and Tobias, who their feet are just tied to the ground. You look at how quickly Matisse switches gears and changes his hips and goes and gets a loose ball, and then you look at Tobias or Danny try to do it, and it looks like they're just carrying huge weights in their legs and their shorts, and it's just God, somebody be faster to the ball. And that's why Harden is nice, even though he's not that fast anymore. He's faster than I think people give him credit for, but he's at least good at anticipating where the ball is going to go, and he's quick to it decision wise. Korkmaz is I would take him out of the rotation at this point. I think you got to give Isaiah Joe some run, because there's just too many guys in this team that aren't the top line guys are there. They're there. We got him. We got Harden. We got Embiid. He's playing great. Maxey is playing better than anybody thought he could play this quick. Matisse looks excellent with Harden right now. Excellent. And tonight they had him rolling way more than they found him for.
And he shoots when he's open, and
he shoots when he's open. He had 2 threes tonight. Like, that's all. He's doing everything you can ask him to do at this point. Obviously, you want him to get better at other stuff, but like right now, realistically, he's doing everything you can ask of him. And he had those 2 nice finishes, like basically the last plays of the game. Matisse was great, but like you can't have so many slow guys who also aren't hitting shots. And Korkmaz right now is that guy, and you just have to churn through it. We have to churn through it to see like who else can be that guy. Is it Isaiah Joe? Is like throwing another lineup and being like, all right, we're doubling down on defense, and we're gonna fucking throw B-ball Paul out there. Honestly, I'm not joking. I think this backup center rotation, I'm getting there, is a problem. But if you can go like, all right, well, we're going to at least like...
Well, it won't be soon, buddy.
We'll put up like a double, like we'll just throw shit at the wall a little bit. And it's like, okay, it's Millsap and B-ball Paul. One of them can shoot. You make Niang the 3. And it's just like Harden and a bunch of guys. And at least they have some defense out there. Because right now, Korkmaz isn't good enough. I think Shake isn't hitting enough shots. Like, you just need to have guys... If they're not hitting shots, then they have to be able to play some defense. And right now, Korkmaz is doing neither.
Yeah, it's... I just thought when Harden got here, I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like, this is going to be perfect for him. Like, he's perfect, quick trigger, good sense of offense, like whatever. But it's just, I would still give him another game or 2. But it doesn't seem like it's going to happen this year.
Yeah, I mean, I've been waiting for the like crazy, like 5 of 7 from deep kind of night where he just brings the house down. But it just hasn't come. It hasn't. It really hasn't come. And B-ball Paul hits a fucking shot. Hits a 3 as the as Here Come the Sixers comes on tonight, which was really nice to see.
So, excuse me. So backup center. So we got a tweet before the game from our very own Sixers Adam, who is of course banned currently from the podcast. But we got a tweet from him saying that I didn't see the Doc Rivers quote, but it seemed like Willie Cauley-Stein was going to play tonight.
Yeah, they said they were going to give him a look.
And then, of course, the first guy to come in was Paul Millsap, who is clearly a dead person right now. And I guess my thought with Willie Cauley-Stein, the reason they didn't play him is they know the minute that his 10-day expires, they're signing DeAndre Jordan. And they just don't, they think that Millsap will be on the roster, and they don't think that Willie Cauley-Stein will be on the roster. I guess that's it. But it is kind of perplexing. I feel like we've said this every podcast since the beginning of the season. It is perplexing that Paul Reed doesn't get more of a look, and Bassey, who looked like the backup center, honestly, for like 3 fucking games in November, and he was playing great, just it seems to have disappeared. It's very strange. It's like everything about it is strange.
I mean, I think a lot of that is just it's Doc, and I think Doc doesn't really love playing rookies. I think that's just sort of his thing. I think he defers that. I think a lot of coaches do it. It's not a Doc specific thing, but it'd be nice if it's just like, hey, Millsap is just the look is, when Joel's off the court, how are they going to play? And Harden in Houston a lot of times played switch everything. And so it's like, okay, great. Who are we going to get that can switch everything? That is not like a total. It can't just be like Tobias and Niang. It has to be someone that can do like a little bit of rim protection, a little bit of rebounding. Like, what do we got? And so in that world, it's basketball Paul or b-ball Paul. Or you can go the opposite way and go like, let's just do a rim runner, just like rim running, screen and roll, which Harden really hasn't done much of. They haven't gone to that like Harden pick and roll with a lob threat that he had with Clint Capella. Maybe that's a Harden choice. I don't know. But that would be Willie Cauley-Stein or DeAndre Jordan if they decide to sign him after the 10 days up, or Charles Bassey. Both of those guys, all 3 of those guys are theoretically more traditional rim protectors than Millsap or b-ball Paul. But neither of them, obviously none of them can shoot. And I think what they're deferring to right now is at least Millsap can shoot. And the floor is spread as much as possible. Like, at least he hasn't hit a ton of shots this year. His numbers aren't great. But if he's as a trailer 3, he is a guy that will take that shot, and you're not, praying. He's a capable shooter from that range when he's wide open. So I have said I would rather be b-ball Paul. I think he kind of gives you some of everything. I think he could be a lob threat for Harden. I think he could be he hit threes in the G League. Like I don't know. I haven't seen a ton of him hitting threes.
It's like Rashawn Holmes'
and this
three.
This is like the first time he's done it at the NBA level. I think this might have been his first three at the NBA level. But at least he has a track record. Obviously, you're not expecting DeAndre Jordan or Willie Cauley-Stein to hit threes in the NBA, although Willie Cauley-Stein was hitting threes in warm-ups, that is NBA players are good. But in game, I think B-Ball Paul gives you the best of some rim running, some three-point shooting, at least in theory in a G League, if he gets warm doing it, and obviously deflection city on defense. And I would just love to. I know that it scares Doc. Like I know it scares him. I know it scares him to go to B-Ball Paul, because even when he's good, he's still like, you can tell Doc doesn't trust him. But I just think he's the best option. I just think he has the most ability. Like Harden is going to make them survive those minutes in a way that they hadn't in previous years. But you would like some positivity on that end. And I like the idea of Millsap shooting, but he is really old and slow and couldn't really break the rotation in Brooklyn. So it's like, give me somebody.
Yeah, he's cooked. He's definitely cooked. I think it's funny that he's on the team. I want him to remain on the team because I think it's hilarious, but he's definitely cooked. Was there anybody else from tonight that I don't think...
We didn't really talk about Tobias.
Oh, yeah, he's just fucking... It's a good bucket at the end of the first half.
Yeah, that was a nice bucket.
He's just like, he ain't gonna... True or false, Mike? He is closer to the three-point line than any person has ever shot three-pointers. I mean, he's so fucking close, and the shot is so... And he's so in his head right now because he knows what Harden wants him to do, and it's so hard for him. And I kind of feel bad for him because
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they tried so hard to get him going. Like, you could see, like, we need to get him going. He's had two very pointless games, and as everybody else is succeeding, he wants to get in on it. You can tell he's frustrated. But, like, when he's forcing it, he has a mediocre handle. He has a slow release and a slow mind release. He doesn't get fouled really much at all. And then he gets in his head and he passed up a wide open three so he could dribble into nowhere. Into that like little like in the middle of the paint, never anywhere, and turns around. And he misses guys that are open as a passer. I almost think he should be tricked into thinking that there's 4 seconds left at all times. If there's a way for everyone to be like, Tobias, there's 4 seconds, you got to downhill, like quickly. Like, then I think pass it to somebody who's open. Like, I think that
the
there's
coach
a chance
counter
that
guy.
Just immediately start counting as soon as he touches the ball. It just starts like 4. It's he's just Doc had a nice ATO when Embiid screened for him off a Tobias cut. I do think there's going to be I think there will be opportunities for him to make, if he's not going to be the like shooter that we all want him to be, and he's just never going to do it, even though he's like a fine shooter. He's 2 of 3 tonight. 3 is not enough attempts, Tobias. But if he's not going to do that more, then he can be cutting because the other 3 guys command so much attention. Like, the way for Tobias to be like, maybe that'll get him going, involved in the offense, is not to let him like start to post up Obi Toppin from 19 feet away. Like, that's not the answer. It's just not. It's going to clog him down. And when he misses, everyone's going to go like, okay, good try, bud. Like, really keep it up. It's just, he's got to either take those threes or he's got to be going downhill and like catch and go like quickly. And so if he's cutting, if they start to have some more off-ball movement while Harden is commanding defense and Embiid's commanding defense, those kinds of things, I think there is chances for him to do that because he is hard to stop when he's downhill because he's big and he has some decent touch. But yeah, and also it kills me on defense watching him pointlessly overhelp.
Yeah.
It kills me. It really kills me defensively because Matisse helps and he gets back. He gets back so well. It's really like glorious to watch how quickly Matisse can like take a risk and then get back to his man. And you think you have him beat and he comes back. He had a number of very impressive blocks on RJ Barrett tonight. And uses quick hands, like a ton of great stuff. And Tobias, and Danny does this too, just like stands just far enough away from his guy where, and I'm standing up during this podcast because I'm excited about James Harden. So I'm light on my feet. I'm dancing around. And Tobias stands just far enough away where he's not covering him, but he's also not like helping on a drive.
Helping. Yeah.
So it's just like, it is straight up no man's land. It's looked like he like looks at the floor and he's like, where could I stand where I'm the least help to anyone? And I'll be here. And so I'm never going to get back to contest an open three. And I'm also never going to like help on a driver to like deter something. And it's deeply frustrating.
Oh no, sorry. I hit the wrong button. I was going to do that for you. That's what I meant to do. Body Bio wants your brain to be healthy and wants your gut to be healthy, because if your brain is healthy and your gut is healthy, you are going to be healthy. They have several products that do that, and we love them because they're local. We love them because they're family owned. We love them because they are nimble, because they are local and family owned, and we love them because they care about your health. So we've talked about brain health, gut health is what I'm talking about now. And they have, if you're going to take one supplement, take butyrate from Body Bio. It's spelled Butyyrate. You'd be like, well, if they're coming out with a product, why would they name it something so weird? Well, they didn't name it. Butyrate exists in your body. Your body makes it. The problem is what you eat normally, your body doesn't make enough. So supplementing with butyrate, it's a postbiotic. So what you do is after you eat, take a couple of pills, you take it, and it can't do anything wrong to you because your body already makes the stuff. But what it does is it like, it gets rid of that bloat. It makes you more regular. And bloat that some people know that they have. I know that I feel it, right? But you, after taking butyrate, even if you didn't feel it, trust me, it's there. You're gonna even look down at your stomach and you're gonna be like, oh shit, that's different. You're gonna feel better. And when I say oh shit, it's because you're gonna shit more often. It is totally safe. If you're going to take any of the butyrates, there are a few of them there. If you're not sure which to take sodium butyrate. Just give it a try. I promise you will feel different. If you're going to take one gut supplement, this is the one. You will feel better. Use code RTRS20 at bodybio.com for 20% off anything at Body Bio, whether it's butyrate, Elite, Calm, liposomal vitamin C, anything. Use code RTRS20 at bodybio.com. I say body, you say bio. Body. Bodybio.com, RTRS20. We love Body Bio. So do you want to talk about DeAndre Jordan? I mean, he was the guy.
Really.
He was the guy, right?
You think it was?
Yes.
That sounds right. Yeah. I hadn't thought about it until you said it earlier, but I do think that makes sense.
Yeah.
He got they negotiated a buyout for him like I think an hour after he made one of the worst passes I've ever seen in my life. Did you see that pass?
Yes. It was awesome.
It was an outlet pass, which I like. I like the attempt.
There's like 15 rows into the crowd.
Further than any pass has ever been made that I've seen. No, I mean, he's DeAndre Jordan. Like, he gives Doc exactly what Willie Cauley-Stein gives Doc. I don't know if Harden likes him. I don't know if Embiid wanted him. At least he's big.
Enormous.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's one of the most enormous people I've ever seen in my life. I used to say when DeAndre Jordan was in his prime, I actually believed, because people would shit on, he was a weird combination, I think, of overrated and underrated. He would be like overrated by normal people and then underrated by basketball people. I thought anytime somebody saw DeAndre Jordan in the lane, they would go a different direction. He was awesome. Everyone says he sucks now. I have not like really watched him, but I have to believe he sucks now.
Sure. Yeah. He does.
Yeah.
But he can screen, he can roll, he can be big and get rebounds. If that is the route they determine that is the best way to maximize non-Embiid minutes in some matchups even, then, fine, I guess. Doc just gave a quote I just saw on Twitter, like, he hasn't thought that Paul Millsap's been bad, which is tough. Tough to trust that he's a good judge of that.
You're not worried about
him to be as a coach.
I'm not worried about Paul Millsap. You're worried about Paul Millsap. That's the
that
quote
right.
from.
Would you ask Pop if he was worried about Paul Millsap?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care about like DeAndre. Willie Cauley-Stein versus DeAndre. That doesn't matter at all. I just like the idea of having options at the backup center spot depending on the matchup. I just don't trust Doc to, in the remaining 20 games or whatever, to work on it and utilize those options so that they have some level of flexibility so that they are a little more matchup proof than they have been. Because, I mean, and that is the criticism of Doc, is that he doesn't adjust. He is inflexible. So we're going to keep talking about this, which is what it is. I do want to point out, we didn't really talk too much about Embiid in this game. Did you notice that you didn't watch it because you were setting up for the podcast, but I watched the game wrap up. Mm-hmm. He gave Nerlens a really nice hug at the end.
Oh, really?
It was cool. It was
Good.
like a sweet. They both smiled. Nerlens was like really happy to see him. Like, it was like, this is cool.
Cool.
It's good to see.
It's the you sued clutch and I won out over clutch hug as well. Yeah.
Great. Totally fine with that.
So are the Sixers going to sign? Oh, actually, before we do this, so here we go. You mentioned the tough stretch coming up. So Friday night, Cavs at Sixers. Saturday night, Sixers at Heat. Then it goes Cavs, Heat, Bulls, Nets, Magic, then Nuggets.
And then there's a even
then Cavs
more
again,
intense stretch
then Mavs,
later on.
then Raptors, then Heat. Yeah, Lakers, Clippers, Suns, then Bucks.
Lakers, Clippers, Suns, Bucks on the road. Yeah, I mean,
At least you
there's
get
a lot of
Lakers
good teams in the
there.
East, so it's not surprising that there are tough games. But yeah, they're not. It's not going to get easy. But this is what you want. You want the, like, I am excited to watch them straight up. I'm excited to watch them lose some games. Like, let's lose some games. Let's see how they take away stuff, and let's get better. I'm so, like, look, will I get mad watching the game at like Tobias passing something up, or I was just going to keep saying Tobias, but like people missing open cutters or not making the play or losing a defensive rotation or whatever. Or Joel had a really bad first half like for his standards, like very bad. And to your point, they were in it just because of Harden. And he bounced back like in a big way in the second half. But really in the first half, wasn't seeing the court well, was missing open guys, wasn't tracking where the double team was coming from, and started passing a lot better in the second half. And his defense was a lot better too. But I really don't care about the regular season. It's nice. And it's
you got to care. It's fun. It's a good...
I'm not saying I don't care as in like I'm not invested in the games. I'm very invested in the games. I'm very invested in watching and being excited about it. I'm saying if they lose, it's totally fine.
Yeah,
and that is new for me. Because
see.
now I was a fucking regular season bitch for so many years, and I'm not that anymore. We have James Harden and Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is going to be the MVP. We have Tyrese Maxey. I'm not a regular season bitch anymore. We're not doing that. He's gone. That man is dead.
There it
is.
is.
Now I'm a playoff motherfucker. And
all right.
I want that to be clear that we should all strive to be playoff motherfuckers now. I've been living with the Lakers fan for a really long time, and we need to imbue some of that winner energy. Regular season games, we don't care about it. Obviously, we care about it, but we don't like it's a lot. Regular season, fuck them. Who cares? I'm treating the regular season like the week 17 against the Cowboys. Doesn't matter.
So CJ, I want you to write this down because I've been thinking about we haven't done a playoff shirt in a while. You know, we did the Process or Die playoff shirt. I'm not a regular season bitch anymore. I'm a playoff motherfucker. Is the playoff
That's
shirt?
What it is. That's who we are now.
I'm gonna send it to Tanner. We'll get the playoff shirt ready. So just so you know. So I was thinking
one quick thing before that. This last thing about the game. My favorite play of the game, because everybody's been watching like Embiid and Harden 2-man game. How's it working? How's it going? And people are clipping it. We're seeing it like it be effective. My favorite play, because it is unguardable. If they want to do it, it's unguardable. And there was one play really nice. Embiid's simple high screen and roll for Harden. The strong side defender helped on Embiid's roll. Embiid caught it on the short roll, kicked it to Danny Green for the open three. It went in. Like, that's the most simple basketball possible, and the Sixers for so long have not had that level of simplicity to their game. And when you have so many ways to beat them, going back to those bread and butter plays are really nice. That was my favorite play of the game, in addition to the Harden outlet to Matisse where he finished. Like, it's just nice to have a guy who they have to cover from everywhere, and even if they do, he can still find open players. It's awesome. it's James Harden. I can't believe people were saying, and some people are still saying that like it wasn't a good trade. That is insane. Those people are out of their minds.
So for the Grand Rapids Gold, the G League affiliate of the Denver Nuggets,
Here we go.
one Nik Stauskas scored 57 points, including 38 in the first half, finished 11 of 15 from three.
Well, he at one point had like nine in a row. Nine of 9.
What he loves Philadelphia. Remember, he stayed here for like 2 years. I think he had a girlfriend here. He would show up at games occasionally. Bring him home.
I would 100% cut Willie Cauley-Stein, cut Miles Powell, bring him on a two-way, whatever it takes. Like, absolutely give him a shot. Do you see? I think he had over 40 points tonight too. I saw a tweet that said he had 100 points in two games.
Bring him home.
And he looks
Bring
strong.
him home.
Looks strong in
Carol.
that picture. Finally added that muscle mass that he needs to.
He needed to. He wasn't. He was never strong enough, and now he's got man strength. You know, he grew up. He's not a kid anymore. Bring him home.
TJ posted about it. Something about process guys like shouting each other out and like remembering what they came for. We could really use Jakar. Like if we could get Jakar for the last run, like somebody Roten obviously for on a two-way. Like bring Miles Powell, who I do love and think that he will eventually be like some level of a last spot on the NBA team guy. That's fine. Bryn Forbesy. I want a former process guy. I need this needs to solidify the run we're on. Like give me Brandon Davies. Obviously give me Hollis. Hollis is the number one. But like give me somebody to bring to like feel like we're bridging two eras because I need it.
I want to get into the Ben Simmons stuff and then the a couple of good mailbag questions. First, I love the Joel Embiid. I personally love the Joel Embiid MVP odds updates on DraftKings. We are now at Joel Embiid minus 120. So the prohibitive favorite, I guess, or whatever it's called, like when you're better than 50-50. Joel Embiid at minus 120 to win the MVP. 7 short weeks ago, he was plus 4,000. And now he's almost, going to win MVP. Jokic at plus 260. Unbelievable. And the Sixers still, championship odds have not changed on DraftKings. Still plus 700.
It is a little wild to me that Brooklyn's odds are better than the Sixers. Still.
Well, I just think the books don't want to get fucked on Brooklyn. You know, I feel like they're just worried. It's not worth it to them. I feel like the odds makers look at it and they just don't think it's worth it. One of the funniest things, we got an email about DraftKings. We get emails about our sponsors and everybody loves DraftKings, but quick email here. I signed up with the RTRS promo code, got $150 in free bets if I bet $1 on any NBA team to win. Naturally, I bet my dollar on the Nuggets to win, considering their large advantage playing so high above sea level. Once my rewards hit my account in the form of 6 $25 bets, I went to work. My first 2 bets were Sixers related, and during the Sixers game. The Sixers lost by 48, and with that, my bets went up in smoke, and I learned an important lesson. Don't bet on the Sixers. I take all blame for Embiid's scoring streak coming to a halt. So I moved to the Blazers. They've been playing better than expected since their trades. Anthony Simons had seriously been balling out. Looking to Sports Spike and his guy, I made a single game parlay involving Simons and a few others. I then bet the Blazers money line at plus 500 against Memphis. In one bet, I was able to support the YouTube big board and a bet against Chris Vernon and his Harden trade hatred. I won almost $200 on those 2 bets without spending a dime of my own money. The lessons: make sure you base your bets off petty dislikes of your enemies and Spike's YouTube big board. Number 2, go get your free money from DraftKings. Bet $1 on any NBA team. Get $150 in free bets if you're a new customer at DraftKings with promo code RTRS. Promo code RTRS. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code RTRS for just $1. Bet just $1 on any NBA team. Get $150 in free bets if they win. That's promo code RTRS at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and older. Restrictions apply. See show notes for details. So the update now on Ben Simmons was that he tweaked his back. It will be weeks. He's like day to day. Then Rich Paul told Shams that he was week to week. And Brian Windhorst today said that he doesn't even know if he'll play in March. And the season ends the middle of April. And then I think the latest Ramona Shelburne thing was that he will, and I know you're just going to say you don't have to worry about it anymore.
It's so nice to not have to worry about it. It's so nice for it to be somebody else doing it. That is my prevailing thing. I'm interested in seeing what happens for sure.
Ramona Shelburne said it's hopeful, or Sham said he was hopeful that he would be back for the playoffs. And Nets fans are like, wait a minute, what? And it is obviously seeing Sixers fans dunk on Nets fans for like going through all of this is funny, but it's also like, it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
It's all the same words. It's we should support him. It's fucking crazy. He's not going to play this year.
You don't think he's going to play at all?
I keep saying that. No. And he is not going to play this year. And him never playing again went from 0.001% to about 1% to about 3.5%, I think. Never.
I have no idea. I want him to play. I would like to see it. I think it'd be interesting basketball. It is extremely freeing. I think part of it is I'm so thrilled about having James Harden to pair with this team.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is, I'm floating. Quick story from our friend Tanner Steidel, who said his HVAC guy was so pumped up about Harden that he gave him a discount just because Harden was playing so well. And I think that's great. I think if you have a business and you're talking to someone about the Sixers, I think you should give them a discount and say it's because Harden is playing so well. So I think that's good advice going forward. I love the even from over here, I can feel the positive vibes from the city of Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's just so nice to not have to worry about the Ben stuff anymore. Because for years, it was just like, when's Bynum going to play? When's Markelle going to play? When's Zaire going to play? Like, all of those. When's Embiid going to play for a while? It was like so many things, and then obviously the Ben thing.
When's Dario going to come over?
When's Dario going to come over? Everybody, everything is when, and it is. When are they going to fire Colangelo finally? When they were waiting for the law firm that specializes in those types of things to make their ultimate findings. So it's just really nice to be like, there's no more when. It's just like, when is the playoffs, because this team is fucking sick. And it's just really nice to not have to worry about anything other than that for now. I'm not ruling out. There it is. There they are again. So that's nice. This is good.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play during the year. And I think every day that he decides not to play makes it harder for him to play. And the mountain that he has to climb to do it is just fucking wild. And watching it, being in New York and seeing it and working with Nets fans and
I mean Durant is back tomorrow, which is nice for my fantasy team because I have Kevin Durant, and I'm in a championship race. I made a trade with Gons today, by the way, in the league that you used to be in. By the way, Gons is really one of my favorite people on the planet. I love him. He's a delightful human being. And when you're in a fantasy basketball league with him, he's a nightmare. He's a little
horrible
bitch person
as a commissioner. He's a little bitch as a commissioner.
It's more even. I've had issues with him as a commissioner. We've had our issues. Legs brought up to me today. Remember, we had to have a conference call, the three of us, because of some improprieties. But like, it's more as a trading with him is just a nightmare to deal with. It is absolutely a nightmare. Maybe that makes him a good owner of his team. Fine.
No.
But nobody else is as much of a nightmare to deal with in that league. Legs is a pleasure. Miles is a pleasure. Zach Berman's a pleasure.
Well, like Legs is a pleasure because Legs just wants to make trades. Legs is like he just loves making trades.
He's doing great.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's gone. Fuck, I love that guy, but holy shit, just he's a different person. I'm gonna start calling him a different name. I have to come up with a new name for Gons because I can't. It's infringing upon my real relationship with him. Anyway, the Nets are the 8 seed right now by 3 games. The Raptors are 3 games up on them, and Anunoby's hurt. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. They seem like he's day to day. Now Jaylen Brown hurt his ankle. He's not sure. So there's a chance that like there's some shakeups right there. But the Nets are 3 games back and looking pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
The Hornets are right behind them. Like there's a chance that the Nets fall not only into the play-in, they're almost certainly in the play-in, but landing in the bottom half of the play-in where they have to win 2 games to even make the playoffs. Like, and that's the idea. I mean, I understand like odds, if the odds people are scared, but like they have a long road to go. That is a daunting task. And maybe if they're at full strength, then they'll beat, the Hornets or whoever. But like the Hornets are good. The Hawks have been bad this season, but are obviously very interesting. The Raptors are legitimately good. The East is good this year. It's like legitimately good, and I don't see Brooklyn being any sort, like if they're healthy and if of course.
But they've never been healthy.
There's a ton of teams that you're more scared of in the East, if not even Sixers specific, but just anybody. If you to rank them right now, like there's a reason why they're hovering around 500 is because they're just not that good.
Well, and by the way, like everybody thought Kyrie was going to play, but the mayor of New York is like, fuck now, because they just fired hundreds of city workers a month ago for not getting vaccinated, and they're not going to just let Kyrie play. Like that's why this is a problem for him, and I don't know when that's going to change. So I don't know that it's right over the horizon either. So
yeah.
The hard to stomach YouTube comment of the week comes from Brendan McEwen. CJ's hair is getting long again. Can we do a crowdfund charity event where the donators get to pick his new haircut? CJ?
Appreciate the question, Brendan.
Oh,
it's a great
First
question.
off, thank you for the question from CJ. That's how he starts all of his answers.
Of course. I'm proud to announce I found a barber that isn't awful. So
that's a no?
I mean, I guess not no, but like it's not as fun as.
Let me ask you this: how much would we have to crowdfund for charity for them to pick your haircut?
I don't know. I'd pay an average price for a haircut. I don't know what.
No, I'm saying like if we
they're not saying it's like $40 to charity.
Proportionate to like what my haircut is. I don't know.
If we raised $1,000 for a charity, or would you let them pick your haircut?
Yeah, thousand beans. Sure.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. I think with the people watching on YouTube, we could do that right now.
Probably not.
I think we can shoot higher than 1,000. Let's aim to shoot higher than 1,000, and then we can give
5,000?
CJ a strange cut.
Yeah.
For charity. That he can wear for like a week.
Sure. Like
You're
someone's
from home.
Get someone's name in my head or something.
That sounds good. You're giving them ideas. You can pitch on it.
So if you want to donate Mike $5,000 for charity.
I mean, great. I would love that for CJ.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So if
finally
you want to
CJ putting some good into the world.
Yeah, we'll set up a
that?
GoFundMe. We'll set up a GoFundMe or something. But until then, if you'd like to donate on YouTube right now, it will go toward the CJ Haircut Fund.
The CJ Haircut Fund.
John Wintermute just donated $100.
Right there.
Thanks, John.
Let's do a couple of mailbag items. Thank you, John. From Heidi. Hey guys, love the Ricky. Wanted to ask, if there is an expansion draft, hypothetically, this offseason, what 8 guys are you protecting? And do you think a team would take Tobias in that situation?
I love the question, Heidi.
It's a great question.
I think people would probably, I forget, in an expansion draft, their contract, I believe, would stick. It's been a while since there's been an expansion draft.
Yeah, let's say it does.
So the Sixers would absolutely not protect him, or they would say no one's going to take him anyway, so maybe we just do it. But I really think that they wouldn't protect him.
So they protect Harden, Embiid, Maxey, Thibault.
That's 4. I would say this offseason, you probably would say Springer. You'd probably say Niang. He's a deeply important part of the thing.
They got nobody to protect.
And then maybe you just say Danny because it's a very tradable contract and you wouldn't want him to just like go away. And then probably between Bassie, Reed, or B-Ball Paul would be the 8th.
I feel like the numbers got to be smaller.
Maybe you'd protect Korkmaz if you think you can package that $5 million rather than those rookie scale deals. But I mean, like I think there are going to be a pretty sizable amount of team shifting this offseason.
The next question I thought was good, and then I read it. I don't even know what the answer is. Non-basketball question. By the way, Heidi, this is a basketball question. What would be the worst NBA National Basketball Association? What would be the worst NBA expansion city you can think of in the Americas? Both from the I don't want to live there and this doesn't seem like a basketball place perspective.
I mean, I like new places, so I don't really strongly dislike any place in particular, especially one. This sounds like I'm just like a wrestling baby face, that I love being here in Raleigh. But yeah, if it's big enough to be a city, it's probably got some cool stuff to it, and it's probably unique in some way. But
maybe Salt Lake or Indianapolis. Oh wait,
those are already teams.
Oh shoot, they shouldn't.
Maybe you'd say like Fresno. I don't think that. Probably Fresno doesn't need a team.
This comes from Jeff. Non-basketball question. What is a common skill that you lack? For example, I'm 35 years old and I've never been able to whistle.
I also can't whistle.
Really? At all?
Can't do it. No. I'm bad at a lot of things. I think the things I'm good at, I'm very good at, but I'm mostly incapable of doing a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm very bad at all house things. I can't tie my shoes with a one loop. I have to do double loop like a little kid.
I can do single loop.
Yeah,
not to brag. I've said this before. Not a proficient bike rider.
Really?
Bad at stopping. Bad at turning. Anything on wheels, I think my anxiety just takes over. I just get scared. I think I just get scared. But yeah, I'd say pretty athletic. Feet on ground, wildly unathletic on wheels, or skis, which I've never done either. Never skied, never snowboarded, any of that stuff.
Hey, this comes from Tim. Hey guys, non-basketball question: does Amos tell stories about himself and disguise it as Tony T? I'm from Australia, so I don't know the history of it, but the last episode he sounded like he was telling a story that happened to him in DC.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
every word.
We had Amos on Carl Landry Record Club yesterday. Mulu and I, we went through every song on the record. It was fun. If you want to listen to that podcast.
Oh, speaking of,
yeah,
I went to the War on Drugs concert.
With Eliza H. Jones.
Our own Eliza Hardy Jones was in, as well as our friend Dave Hartley, Nightlands. That was a cool concert. That was great. I had a great time. They were awesome. They were really, really good.
I wanted to go to the Madison Square Garden show. There was a snowstorm that day. I hate going to the city on the weekend. It's great. How long did she play?
I had great seats.
Yep.
And I was seated directly, couldn't have placed me any better, in line with where Dave and Eliza were standing. So Dave and Eliza was in the second deck behind him. And so I was just staring at them the whole time, being like, they can probably recognize me. I was like, they have to be playing direct. I was like, you're playing directly to me. I was wearing a mask. I don't have I'm the most normal looking person in the world. So why would they be able to so far away? But at the time I was like, they're playing this for me specifically. I can feel it. And it was great. It was a beautiful, beautiful show. Very fun.
They are a great live band.
They're awesome.
And finally,
and wait, I tweeted this, sorry, but Adam, the lead singer of War on Drugs, introduced Eliza as Philadelphia 76ers season ticket holder Eliza Hardy Jones, and I just went nuts. I just lost it.
That's great. That's a random thing to do in Los Angeles.
I know. It was really cool.
Yeah,
it was really cool. Actually, you know what? Again, I thought that was for me. This is me. I think during the concert, I just became a massive narcissist. It was everything is happening directly for me.
They're looking
doing
at me
directly to me. This is fine. Why isn't the spotlight shining or directly onto me? Why not? But it was really one of the best shows I've ever been to. I loved it.
Before we're only gonna do one more question, but I would like to raise $100 more before we sign off. So if everybody watching on YouTube just donates $10, then we're gonna get to we get to 5,000, so we can pick to CJ's, and this will all go to charity. We promise. Mrs. Colangelo. But if everybody donates $10, we'll get to the next 100. This comes from Eric. Non-basketball, what was a change in your personal lives that could compare to the Simmons for Harden trade in something that just completely changed an agonizing situation into one that is nearly euphoric? One that sticks out to me is when my son learned to read. He was in first grade when the pandemic started and finished the year at home e-learning when he was struggling learning to read, and e-learning was a terror because of it. That following summer, reading clicked for him, and since then he's handled almost all of the e-learning independently. So
I love that. What a nice answer.
Yeah. Something that completely changed an agonizing situation into something that is nearly euphoric.
It was, it's really hard to go from being an assistant to being on staff of a TV show. And I had at the time it didn't feel like it was easy, but looking back, I definitely had an easy time of it. Alyssa had a tougher time of it, from just like bad luck and shows getting canceled when she was supposed to get the bump and all that stuff. And so when she got staffed, it was the coolest thing, and I'm still so happy about it. That was great.
I would say anytime plans get canceled, like literally anytime I'm supposed to go to dinner or something like that and it gets canceled. For me, that is amazing to get a free night. You know, you're on Zoom sometimes and it's booked for an hour and somebody's like at 52 minutes. I'm going to give you this 8 minutes back. No, that wasn't that is not like euphoric to me, but like sometimes when plans get canceled, it's amazing actually to me. Basketball. Can we talk about how much more aesthetically pleasing watching the Sixers are now? Not only that the two most heavy-footed players were moved in the Harden trade, but they were also the two guys on the roster wearing undershirts. It feels like we're now watching a real NBA team.
I do think Tobias and Danny are more heavy-footed than Seth. Like their feet seem heavier. Seth with the ball in his hands did seem a little bit light. Like he could like tap dance a little bit. Defensively, he was very slow, and when there was a loose ball, he was incredibly slow. But I do think that like as far as just like the weight of someone's foot, I think Tobias and Danny are carrying the heaviest feet in the league. Definitely
Danny with the heaviest diaper.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, we will talk to you this weekend. Another win behind the James Harden and Joel Embiid led Sixers. The 2 games from the top seed in the East, Sixers.
2 games, 4 wins in a row.
The Bucks beat the Heat tonight, so everybody's all clumped together. But nice to see the Sixers in what we believed would be a throwaway season be a title contender. Pretty nice. Very nice.
We'll
talk to you this weekend. Are you down with TTP?
Yeah, you. No lick face.